Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Kickin' Bass TV for another episode of Foodie Fishing Friday. Today, we're going to be doing the top 10 best chips and salsa in Denver, which means we're going to be driving around town all day, picking up chips and salsa from some of my favorite local spots around the city. Of course, we'll do a little fishing, then we'll do the taste test to determine who has the best chips and salsa in Denver. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below. Let's go. All right, guys, today we're doing something a little different for Foodie Fishing Friday. We're heading out to find the top 10 places in the Denver area for chips and salsa. Kicking things off with a quick morning fishing session, met up with my cousin and his 2-year-old son, who, aside from myself, is probably the most knowledgeable bass fisherman you'll ever meet. As you can see, he's disguised as a fish today. He's got his shark fin hat, his Bass Dash shirt and neck gaiter on, and he's taking a rare day off from fishing to give me and the old man some pointers. As you can see, he's able to sneak right up to the bed in his fish-like ways, point out to me exactly where the fish was at. He also suggested that I try a shaky head worm because I had the wrong bait tied on. Sure enough, the little man was right. That's exactly how he caught the first fish of the day. After he put me on my first fish, he went over to help his dad catch one, and he did the same exact thing. You can see how excited he was to help the old man land something for a change, because honestly, his dad kind of sucks at fishing because he doesn't watch enough Kickin' Bass TV. Luckily for us, Youngblood's been home, skipping nap time and watching all the videos, so he knew exactly what bait to throw. He had his fish outfit on, so he was able to sneak right up to those beds and sight fish those bass for me. From there, we set out to find who makes the best chips and salsa in town. Our first stop is Salsa's Mexican Restaurant off of 44th and Wadsworth in Wheat Ridge, then over to Gregorio's in Lakewood off of 19th and Wads. A few blocks south of there, another Colorado staple, the Taco House, then on to Jose O'Shea's off of 6th Avenue in Union. From there, we hit Las Delicious uptown off of 19th in Pennsylvania, then to El Camino and Highlands off of 32nd Avenue, to one of my all-time Denver favorites, which is La Loma. Of course, we had to stop by Monterey House in Arvada. Then we jumped over to Tafalino's in Applewood off of 20th and Youngfield, to the Moose Hill Cantina off of Colfax Avenue, last but not least, to El Amigo in Golden. As you can see, we ended up with 11 different types of chips and salsa from different spots around the city, some with different types of chips, different quantities of chips, different size salsa containers, but nevertheless, we're gonna taste test them all against each other and tell you who we think makes the best chips and salsa in Denver. First up is gonna be Gregorio's in Lakewood, starting with their chips, which are a great strip style chip, a nice authentic touch to any Mexican restaurant, definitely one of my favorites on the list, and they've got a nice red chili base in their salsa, giving it a great kick, as well as nice substance with tons of chunky tomato and onion. After that, we've got the aptly named Salsa's Mexican Restaurant, formerly Mi Cabana in Wheat Ridge, where the food has been consistently great for over 30 years, starting with the tortilla chip, which is a classic restaurant style chip, nice, crispy, light, and the salsa is great. It's got a nice spicy kick to it, and strong cilantro flavor has been one of my favorite salsas since I was a kid. After that, we've got the Taco House in Lakewood, serving up these atrocious plain Jane round corn tortilla chips from the state fair for as long as I can remember, but the salsa more than makes up for it. If you don't believe me, head to the Taco House today and find out for yourself. Number 4 on the list comes from Jose O'Shea's off of 6th and Union in Lakewood. Super light, crispy tortilla chip that tends to be a lot less greasy than the rest of the chips on the list. And if you're like me and you love the strong flavor of cilantro, this is one that you really enjoy. After that, we've got La Loma in Denver, a longtime favorite of mine with a light, crispy chip that's never greasy, the definition of freshness, and a salsa that I could identify blindfolded. When it comes to Las Delicious in Denver, another great traditional restaurant style chip, pretty par for the course. Their salsa's a little more mild, but still has a great flavor profile. El Camino was a spot I had actually never been to before on 32nd, but it was on a few top 10 lists in Denver, so decided to stop by and try it. The chips were pretty par for the course, but the salsa I honestly didn't care for that much. Next, we've got the Moose Hill Cantina off of Colfax in Lakewood, and while these were probably my least favorite chips because they were too hard and crunchy, the salsa was still great. Monterey House in Arvada has a nice classic restaurant style tortilla chip, pretty par for the course. When it comes to the salsa, it's a little more on the watery side than the rest, but very, very fresh tasting and very spicy. El Amigo in Golden had pretty standard chips for the most part, a little on the thick side, but when it comes to the salsa, one of the most authentic, robust flavor profiles out of the entire list. Last but not least is going to be Tafalinos in Applewood, the only seasoned chip on today's list and probably one of my favorite chips. I just wish that I could say the same for the salsa. So without any further ado, let's get to the results, starting with number 1, which is going to be La Loma in Denver. Second place is going to be Salsas in Wheat Ridge. Coming in third is Gregorio's in Lakewood, Jose O'Shea's in fourth. In fifth place is El Amigo in Golden, Taco House in Lakewood in sixth place. In seventh place is Monterey House in Arvada, Museo Cantina off of Colfax in eighth. Ninth place is Las Delicias in Uptown Denver. Tafalinos in Applewood came in at 10th. And in 11th, last but not least, El Camino off of 32nd Avenue in Highland. And that's going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, do me a favor and hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And make sure you hit that notification bell to stay up to date with our new videos and giveaways. As always, I'd love to hear from you guys. So leave me a comment down below telling me which restaurant in the Denver area makes your favorite chips and salsa. And until next time, I'm D with Kickin' Bass TV.
Subscribe.